Hello, my name's Karina and welcome to Vegan Sazón. Today is a very special video because I'm going to show you how to make really good vegan cheese. This cheese is very similar to mozzarella cheese. It's mild in flavor, it goes really well on pizza, quesadillas, arepas. Basically, any way you would use mozzarella cheese, you can use this cheese in. And if you're watching this video right now and want to make this cheese today, it's not going to happen, I'm sorry, because this is a fermented cheese product and it's going to take at least 1 to 2 days to ferment to be ready to make the vegan cheese. So make this ahead of time so you will have the cheese ready to make whatever recipe you're going to do or whatever you're going to do with the cheese. Make it ahead of time. So now let's get started with the recipe and make some vegan cheese. So the first thing you're going to need are some cashews, and you can soak these overnight or for at least 4 to 5 hours. And if you're lazy, you can just boil them in water for about 15 minutes. Once you have your soaked cashews, you want to rinse them well and then add them to a blender along with some water and blend away until smooth. Also, you want to make sure that you're disinfecting every container you're using right now with very hot water to prevent your cashew milk from getting spoiled instead of fermenting properly. This here is a probiotic powder, and this is the most important ingredient in this whole recipe. This is the bacteria that you're going to use to ferment your cashew milk to make vegan cheese. And I've found that the very best vegan cheeses happen to be fermented, and it makes sense because regular cheese made from cow's milk is fermented. So to get the very best vegan cheese, I really do think that you have to ferment it so it can get a nice tangy sour flavor that is very similar to regular dairy cheese. And now you cover this with saran wrap or a lid or whatever you have and let this ferment for 1 to 2 days depending on your climate and patience. This batch I let ferment for 2 days, and this is what it looks like after, and it should have a nice yogurt smell. And now we can start adding all the rest of the ingredients. Here we have capicaraginin, which is a powder made from seaweed, and this is what's going to make the cheese firm and give the cheese the ability to melt. The next ingredient is tapioca starch or tapioca flour, and this is starch made from yuca, and this is what's going to make the cheese stretchy. You're going to need some salt too, of course, to make the cheese salty, and optional, you can also add some vegan lactic acid. This just gives the cheese some extra sourness. And the last thing you're gonna add is some refined coconut oil. And before you actually start cooking this mixture, set aside a large bowl filled with ice cold water, and you're going to add a bunch of salt into the bowl so the water can taste salty. So now to actually cook this, you're going to add it to a pan. You're going to cook this on low heat and stir constantly for about 10 minutes. And you'll see the mixture starting to come together here. It gets a little goopy. And then after a couple more minutes, it'll turn into this. And you'll know the cheese is done because it'll kind of come together and kind of look like melted cheese. Now in this part, you kind of have to work quickly because you do not want the cheese to cool down. So once you're here, you want to get that big bowl of iced water and get an ice cream scoop and scoop up some of the cheese and just dump it in the water. I highly recommend an ice cream scooper, but if you don't have one, maybe you can use a big spoon or a ladle. And once the balls of cheese hit the ice cold water, they'll immediately start firming up. Now after you've scooped up every last bit of cheese into your bowl of water, you want to cover it and put it in the fridge for at least 4 hours. And then this is what they end up looking like. Yeah, they're not super pretty, but they taste good. And this cheese is sliceable. You can slice it, you can grate it, you can melt it. You can do so many things with this cheese. And my favorite way to use this is to make pizza. It's amazing and it tastes just like regular pizza. This is what the cheese looks like melted. It does melt and it actually looks like cheese. It tastes like cheese and it smells like cheese. Another way I like to eat this is with guayaba. Just cut a little piece, make some timba. Delicious. One of the best things about this recipe is that you can eat this cold or hot. It tastes good both ways. So you can use this recipe for so many different things. The possibilities are endless. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you try out this recipe. And if you do try out this recipe, please comment down below and tell me your thoughts, and make sure to tag me on Twitter or Instagram at vegansazon, so I can see your creations and see how you use this cheese and what you made. And yeah, stay tuned for an upcoming video where I show you how to make Cuban pizza, una pizza cubana, using this cheese recipe. So make sure you make it beforehand and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss that video. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. I can't even record. Con esta gata en el medio.